welcome to another edition of Will's Grill Shack. We are in my new shack. It's lovely to be in something that's more permanent than a gazebo. The gazebo was great, but in the wind, God, did that thing used to rock side to side. So today we are doing a comparison video on the Kamado Joe Big Joe 3 against the Broil King pellet grill. We are doing two Wagyu steaks, caveman steaks, so they're a kilo each. They are big, they are juicy, they look lovely, and we are going to reverse sear them both and see which one comes out better. I know already you're thinking the KJ has got this hands down. It can get to temperatures of 500 degrees, you can steakhouse sear on it, it's really good, but I wouldn't bet all your money on the KJ. The Broil King can get to 300 degrees. It can sear, it's got cast iron grates in it as standard, and I really think the Broil King is going to give this KJ a run for its money on these two incredible steaks. So today in the Broil King we're using the hickory pellets. These should give a nice flavour onto the steak. Haven't used hickory yet, so I'm interested to see how these perform. Obviously we said before about the consistency of the competition pellet and how well that performed, so I'm thinking that we're going to get some good temps out of this. Okay, so got some of those hickory pellets in. Let's get her fired up. We're just going to go with the smoke function, so 107 degrees set in. We're going to leave the lid open for 10 minutes for the fire to establish and let that come up to temperature. So in the Kamado Joe I'm using Globe Baltic charcoal. I'll put a link in the description for this, and you can go and purchase some. It's really good, really, I mean, look at the size of the chunks that you get with this. Really good charcoal. We've got a couple of firelighters. We're pushing it more towards this side of the grill because I'm not using the slow roller. I'm literally just going to be using the ceramic deflector plates that you get with it, and we're going to have one this side, and we're going to get it to about an internal 45 degrees, and then we're going to sear it off. Right, let's get this one lit. And wait for that to come up to the same temperature. Okay, let's put the accessory rack in the lower position, just like that. And we're just going to pop these in. We don't want to shock the ceramic yet, so we'll just pop this in just like that and wait for that to come up to its own temperature of 120. Okay, so here are the steaks, two massive thick cowboy Wagyu steaks from Devon Wagyu. I've used his mince as well, really good. The burgers come out lovely. So we're just going to just spray these up with some oil. I'm just going to put a small amount of pepper on them, because with these you don't want to ruin the flavour too much, because the flavour is in the meat with Wagyu. These are both 1 kilo each. And we want to get the salt. Sprinkle the salt over. And we'll just let that soak in for a couple of minutes and turn it over and do the other side. And there you go, all seasoned up and looking lovely. So we're just going to let that sit for 5-10 minutes just while we're waiting for the grills to come up to temperature, and we're going to put the Meteor probe in it. So we're using the Meteor block again to monitor the cook. We're going to use 2 probes, so let's just get those set up. So we're just going to pop this one in just like that, and then probe 1, same sort of position, just like that. So we set the Meteor up for 46 degrees, purely because obviously we're not going to be searing with the Meteor on, because the end would, the tip would melt. So we set it up for 46, then we pull the probe out, get the grills up to 300 degrees, both of them, and then we sear. Okay, so to make the cook fair, We are using a chunk of hickory as well, so we're going to pop that in there, and we're going to close the gap on these and wait for it to come up to temperature and the smoke to be running clear. So the Big Joe's stabilised in 110. Let me show you how I did that. So we're just on the first notch here, and we've just got that little bit there open, which is about 1 finger, I would have said. So we're just waiting for the smoke now to go clear, and then we shall begin. And the Broil King is just approaching the 107 mark. It's taking 25 minutes, so it's a little bit slower today at getting up to temperature. Okay, the grills are both up to temperature now. The smoke on the KJ is nice and clear, which is what we want. So let's get these 2 big steaks on. And now let's get the one on the KJ. So just a quick little update. The Broil King is 6 degrees faster on internal temperature than what the Kamado Joe is. So the Broil King is definitely cooking quicker, but they're both exactly the same weight, 1 kilo, so there's no difference in between them. So yeah, just a quick update. And the steaks must be smelling good, because we've got a little visitor coming and sniffing them out. Okay, the Broil King steak is now up to temperature, so we're going to get that one off and wrap. Okay, so we're going to put it on the steak searing mode. 315 degrees is what we're going to get it up to, and we're going to see how long it takes to get there. Okay, the KJ one has now come up to temperature, so we're just going to get that up to rest, and I'll show you how I'm going to set it up. Okay, so we've taken the deflectors out, cast iron grill here. We're going to just crack open that bottom vent, shut this down, and open up the top vent. And we're going for 315, which is what the Broil King will be on. Okay, the Kamado Joe's the first one at temperature, so we're just going to chuck the steak on. So we've been going to 300 and 301 for about 5 minutes now, so we're just going to leave it at that and chuck the steak on. Okay, here we go. Don't forget the sizzle. Grill marks, I don't know if you can see that, but that's incredible. Okay, the Broil King got to temperature. It was way too smoky to be able to show you, unfortunately, but we have taken it off the grill and now we're both resting and waiting. Okay, both steaks now off, resting. It did get pretty smoky and very, very hot, as you can see. I'm sweating, but having 2 grills at 300 degrees is hot work, that's for sure. So we're going to rest them up for about 15 minutes and then come back and slice them up and see what tastes better. So we're going to slice her straight through the middle, I think. Whoa. That is looking lovely. Really, really juicy. And the Kamado Joe steak is just perfection. Okay, now we're on to the Broil King. As you can see, the grill marks that this took on was really, really good. Really impressed with that. Again, cooked medium rare. It looks great. Not as juicy. It's definitely got a firmness, and oh, it just slices lovely. Now this is incredible. I cannot believe how well this grill, for a pellet grill, has held the temperature, has cooked. It's amazing, and you just look at that bit of meat, just perfect medium rare, which is what we like. So that's the Kamado Joe, and that is the Broil King. Okay, now for the taste test. So here's a piece of the Kamado Joe. Wow, it's really taken on that smoke flavour. It's got a nice bit of bark to it where it's really crisps up from the searing. So juicy, so tasty. I think that's going to be really hard to beat. That was pretty much perfect, I would have said. That Wagyu just melts in your mouth. And the Broil King. Wow, the Broil King. Tasty. It was really good, really flavoursome, had loads of flavour to it. Texture was good. It just wasn't as melt in your mouth as what the Kamado Joe was, I wouldn't have said. I think the KJ just, I don't know, it just had that little edge over it, I think. I mean, I'm so impressed with the Broil King though, and how it held, you know, 300 degrees on a pellet grill. Traegers don't do that, Pit Bosses don't do that. No other brand does that, but the Broil King Regal 500 is definitely leaps and bounds ahead of anything else, I would have said. But if you had to ask me if there was one that was more tasty than what the other one was, I hate to say it, but I'm going to go with the Kamado Joe on this one. So that is now 2-1 to the Kamado Joe. One on the brisket and it's one on the steak. Pulled pork though, absolutely banging in the Broil King. So there you have it, guys. 2-1 to the Kamado Joe. What's next? Haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna have a think. Maybe a couple of rotisserie chickens, one in each might be an option. See how we go with those. But yes, if you have enjoyed watching this video, please like it, please subscribe to the channel. Got plenty more content coming. I've also got a new Broil King keg, which I'm looking forward to putting through its paces. I've just finished filming a video for that today as well, so that'll be on the channel soon. But yeah, stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.